This is 2 Minutes Together, a ministry of Central Lutheran Church, Eugene, Oregon. I'm Pastor Ben. This week, we have John chapter 17, when Jesus has a message for his disciples right before that he's going to go into, right before he's going to be arrested and go through the scene in the Gospel of John of his passion and his death and then his resurrection. So this one among his last directives to the disciples. And instead of it being a directive in the sense of this is what I want you to do, Jesus does do that. This is something different. He makes an analogy of something they know to be true of him. Jesus has made clear that I and God the Creator are one. He says, I and the Father are one. And then Jesus says, just as I am one with the Father, and I am one with you, now you are one with us, meaning Jesus and the God the Creator. So sometimes you could look at it, it's almost like a Venn diagram, if you can imagine this, of one circle of here's Jesus, here's God the Creator, second circle, here's Jesus, here's us. So normally you would say, well, then Jesus is the intermediary. But then Jesus has elided this and says, now that this work is done, that everything has been made complete, that it's all one circle now. That just as you are united with me, therefore you are united fully with the fullness of God. And I think there's two reasons. One is the theological point of Jesus is the fullness of God. So if you're united with Jesus, therefore you're united with God the Creator. However, that's, I think, very true. But I think also there's a reason Jesus is saying that. He's saying that your unity with God affects everything about you, just like it affects the fullness of God in you. You don't have a part of God. You experience the whole thing, and you have been made in unity. Well, that starts to have a really big point, because not only does that mean I can know that I am united with God, it also means I know that I have everything I need to live this Christian life. There's no second step. It's right here. It's right in front of you. A major component of the Gospel of John, the mystical unity of the community with Jesus and thereby God. That right now you have everything you need, the full participation of what it is to live fully with God. But there's something else. Because if you are united with the Father, with God the Creator, you're not alone. There's a whole lot of people united. And what just happened? As we are united with God the Creator, we became united with each other. That you have become one with one another, not because you happen to agree on everything, but because of your unity with God. This is a fundamental Christian idea that is different from many spaces in the world. That we are very different, but we become united, not because we get rid of our differences, but because we worship this same God, and that changes us. The fullness of God is present in me and my neighbor. And so therefore we are one in a way we could have never been one before. This has been 2 Minutes Together. I'm Pastor Ben.